all that.
Yeah, wow, scary. And it's funny, like you read that tweet. I remember your email because you'd read the book. You said, "Can you verify when this was written for me?"
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
wonder. So that was clearly after your wait at the grocery line.
It was I had gotten through that first exchange between the nurses, and seen, it was the term PPE, which I hadn't
Yeah,
heard before, and them talking about how the not being properly prepared for what's coming in and not knowing exactly what's going on. So it was, I had to verify you turned the thing in August and did your final edits in October, I think you said.
yeah, yeah. Late October into early November, but yeah, well before anyone had ever heard of the virus. Yeah.
To be fair, after the first few chapters, this diverges wildly
Oh yeah.
from that reality of the pandemic. But those first few chapters are very uncomfortable. I mean, does part of you relish that being sort of close to reality? It's what you're trying for as an author, to show people something.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's hard to answer. Sort of honestly. I mean, I guess in a weird way. I mean, if I would say only based on the fact that something like this did happen. Like
Mm,
I would trade that book. I would trade my career for the pandemic to have never have happened.
mm,
But if we're going to have been forced to live through it, if that's sort of a condition, then I would say, yeah. I mean, I guess I am a little bit like, oh, I got some of it right, or
mm.
it does. I don't know. It's part of it's like, oh, that means. I mean, I felt like, okay, I guess I was paying close attention to. I don't know, not even just the zeitgeist, but like, I don't know. I'm really stumbling to answer the question. So I guess yes, sort of. But again, I would trade the accuracy for no pandemic in a heartbeat.
Mm.
Um, again, some of the other things that happen a little bit later in the novel, it's not a spoiler, but like, I've been obsessed for years. And it's really come to the forefront in the last few years with misinformation and how it's disseminated.
Mm.
And that's sort of been a theme in my previous novels, even starting with The Head Full of Ghosts and certainly ratcheted up the novel before Survivor Song called Cabinet at the End of the World
Yeah.
has some of that, misinformation or how do we know what's real or not, within the media in the book as well. So, I mean, I feel like, we could see all of that just coming to a
Mm.
head, and it sort of all came, has come to a head really. Hopefully it's going to get better. I don't know. In the last year.
What's part of that, the uncanny that a lot of horror authors reach for? Something that is very close to the reader's reality. For those who aren't familiar with the concept, very
Yeah.
close to somebody, but something's off, and you can't tell exactly what.
Sure. I mean, I think most horror stories, the uncanny, or even like the idea of ambiguity, which in a weird way, Survivor Song is my least ambiguous novel of the recent bunch of novels that I've done. But there's still that aspect of, the idea of ambiguousness is so much a part of our, 21st century experience insofar as, how we're just bombarded with data, and it's, even for people who I feel like are smart and well read, and and stick with reasonable sources, it's just hard. Like, how do you deal with this constant flow of information and misinformation that makes for a
Hmm.
very sort of ambiguous existence, which is perfect for a horror novel.